is yours, the world is yours.
It's mine, whose world is this?
Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Travis.
Today we're talking NBA Finals. This is our NBA Finals recap. We're going to start with a little recap of Game 5. But first off, I got to say congratulations to both Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers for a great season. Cleveland just came up a little bit short in this one. But Golden State Warriors won the series 4-1. And congratulations to the Warriors.
Yeah, it's not easy getting there, Cleveland. You guys had a great season. You know, the last 3 games was definitely a lot more fun to watch than the first 2. Also, big congrats to Golden State. You know, champions. It's a great feeling. Congrats, guys.
Yep, and let's go right into this Game 5. What did you end up seeing? The Golden State Warriors won 129-120. It was close at times, but it was a convincing win for the Golden State Warriors overall.
Yeah, you know, in the first half, it was a really good game. You know, J.R. Smith, I saw he finished with 25 points.
He was
on fire that game. I mean, he really showed up. He's the guy that said, Cavs in 7. He was not ready to go home. He put it all on the line. He had a great game.
Well, did he say that, or did his Twitter get hacked?
I guess he got hacked. You know, how, like, all these guys keep getting hacked. But, you know, it was a really good first half. There was a lot of great plays between both teams. What did you see in the first half?
Well, Cleveland, got to a good start. They were leading early.
Yeah.
And, it was a great competitive game until, the Warriors really went on that run in the second quarter. I think it was a 30-11 run or something like that.
Yeah, it's just what the Warriors do.
Yeah, that's what they do. They always go on those runs.
Yeah.
But, what I saw, LeBron James had a great game, by the way. 41 points, 8 assists, 13 rebounds. First player to average a triple-double in a series.
Incredible.
But with that said, he's the greatest player in the world. And what I saw from him during that period, he only took 2 shots during that run.
Yeah.
So, during key moments during the series, if you're going to say that LeBron James deserves MVP over Kevin Durant, it's these moments, such as Game 3, where Kevin Durant makes the big shot at the end. That, I look at these moments and I say, LeBron, he's doing a lot. He's putting up numbers. But in these big moments, who's stepping up the most? It was Kevin Durant most of the time.
Yeah,
and that's what happened in this game. LeBron James just disengaged at the worst possible time, I thought, in this game. But still, he had an amazing game. Not to take anything away from him.
Yeah. I mean, I think where you're going with it, too, when they're on that 30-11 run, that's when you kind of look at your best player to kind of stop the bleeding, hey, let's get us back into the game. And only taking 2 shots during that stretch, you got to realize, hey, they're starting to pull away. I need to be aggressive. I need to get us back in the game because, well, it's Game 5. You're down 3-1. You got to do something.
Do or die. And, Kyrie Irving didn't even have a good game either in the fourth quarter. He was doing good up to that point.
Yeah.
But I thought in the fourth quarter he was really bad. He was 0 for 6, I think, from the field. But, that was kind of the theme of the series for the Cavaliers where, role players just didn't step up enough. I felt for them. LeBron was doing his thing. Kevin Love didn't really have a good game again.
No, he struggled.
But, I think a lot of it has to go to the greatness of the Warriors, though. Stephen Curry bounced back from a really bad Game 4 with 34 points, 10-20 shooting. Really started from 3, but he was still impacting the game with 10 assists. And, we're talking about Kevin Durant. How clutch was he in this one? 14-20 from the field, 39 points. You can tell this entire series that he just wanted this more than anything in the world to win this series.
Yeah, he had the Black Mamba mode engaged, man. He smelt the blood. His Game 5, he's never won a championship. He's like, I'm bringing it home for Golden State. He showed up. He did what superstars are supposed to do. He had a great game. He was phenomenal.
Yep, and like we said, Golden State, they won pretty handily by 9 points.
Yep.
Cleveland got a little bit close late in the game, but you could tell after that run in the second quarter that, it was Golden State was going to win this one. And, there's just so much firepower. We saw this the entire series. Andre Iguodala bounced back with a good game, 20 points in this one.
Yeah,
off
fantastic
the bench.
performance.
And, you got to take their hat in Golden State. This is one of the... we're going to get to Golden State in a little bit, but this is one of the best teams, we've ever seen.
Yeah, talent-wise, it's just off the board with all the guys they had on that team.
So we just mentioned that, Golden State, this is probably one of the better teams we've ever seen. After winning this series, what is the legacy of this team? Because a lot of people look at it and say it was unfair with Kevin Durant joining the 73-win team.
Yeah, I mean, that's... He
It is
already
what
had
it
a
is.
73-win
Yeah.
team, and you add a talent like Kevin Durant, and I think we all saw in the beginning of the year, it's pretty much championship or bust for the Warriors.
Yep.
But they got it done. That's 2 championships in 3 years. That's a really impressive stat. Kevin Durant gets his first championship, also a Finals MVP. He really showed up in the series.
He wasn't a bystander in this one.
Not at all.
He took this one for the Warriors. He said, get on my back. I want to win this for us. If it's one thing if he just let Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all those guys win it for him. But he really took on the challenge and he rose to the occasion, I thought.
Yeah.
It's tough to say right now where I put this team in terms of the all-time greats because we got to see how they play out for the next few years.
Yep.
But I see kind of like going back, there's always been super teams in the NBA. You look at the Lakers and Celtics during the 60s, those teams were loaded, especially the Celtics. They had, at least 4 Hall of Famers on each team that they had. It was different guys every single year they bring in. And then in the 80s, Celtics and Lakers, again, they were super teams.
Yep.
They did a little bit, they got the teams built a little bit differently than the Warriors did, but they're still a super team. Even the 76ers for a year in the 83 when they got Moses Malone from the Rockets to join Julius Irving and those boys. I mean, they were a super team.
Yeah, the Bad Boy Pistons
Bad
too.
Boy Pistons in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's Bulls,
It's not like we've never seen a super team before.
And you got to give credit to the Warriors organization as a whole because Stephen Curry, lottery pick, but he wasn't like a top 5 super high pick. Klay Thompson was not a super high player, picked 11th. Draymond Green, 2nd round pick. They developed their team into a system, and Kevin Durant. When they needed Kevin Durant to make him go over the top again to win another championship, they added Kevin Durant when they needed to. I think it was just smart. It was just very smart the way they organized their team, the way they developed their team.
Yeah, and especially they were also able to get a lot of valuable veterans for very cheap who wanted to get that championship ring.
Yeah.
They had that good mix of like the youth with Steph and Klay, like Kevin Durant, his leadership, his skills, and then you had David West, guys like that.
Yeah.
They had a really good mix of veterans, young players, and all that.
Yeah, and they got the best out of guys like Ron Livingston.
JaVale McGee had his best year ever.
He finally found a home.
Yeah.
He's a talented player, but he's always been JaVale McGee. But they got guys like Andre Iguodala coming off the bench, 6th man of the year type of guy for them every single year, and I just thought they were just a great team all around. I think you can't take anything away from them just because they put together this super team. I mean, let's look at it this way. Everyone says it was unfair, but did the Golden State Warriors win the championship last year? Last I checked, no, they didn't.
Nope.
LeBron James and the Cavaliers won the championship. I think it would be, not smart of them to not try and improve the team as much as they can.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
they didn't do anything different. Like, it's all under the same salary cap.
Yeah.
Every team had a shot to get Kevin Durant,
They just made a better sales pitch to him, I thought. And, it's going to be tough this year. Stephen Curry's a free agent. They're going to have to pay everybody. Kevin Durant said in the past that he's willing to take less in order to keep their core group together. But, as for a one-year basis, I think this is the most talented team we've ever seen. And they won a championship, and it's tough to say. I think we got to give it a few years of perspective to kind of see where this team is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there's a loser always for these finals, and this year is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And for them, it starts and ends with LeBron James. So, what is his legacy after this? Does this series loss affect his legacy at all?
In my opinion, it doesn't, because you look at LeBron, the first person ever to average a triple-double in the NBA Finals. He played great. He was a driving force. Plain and simple, he went up against a team that just was overpowering. They just had so much talent. Like, one man can only do so much. He laid it all out on the floor. I don't think this will affect his legacy as much as, losing to the Mavericks in 2011. I think he'll be okay. I
think it impacts his legacy to a degree. It's not a dramatic impact on his legacy, but when people look back on his career, say 10 years down the line, they're going to see, 3-5 for finals losses, or when he's going to get to more finals, assuming he goes next year. But they're going to look at that loss and say, only 3 wins, and to this point 5 losses in the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
they're going to bring that up, and then they're going to look at some of the big moments like we mentioned earlier with our Game 5 recap. There were moments in Game 3 where you disengage. Moments in Game 5 during that run in the second quarter where you disengage. Even though he put up amazing stats, I think a lot of the haters of LeBron will look at that and just kind of nitpick certain aspects of it.
I think you also got to recognize, though, I mean, that's 7 straight NBA Finals he's been to.
That's the first person since, the Boston Celtics of the 60s with Bill Russell and those boys to do that.
Yeah, I don't think he gets enough credit to actually be able to go to NBA championships 7 times in a row. Like, everyone's like, it's LeBron. It's almost, like, expected of him. But, I mean, it's just such a hard path to actually get there. Like, I think he deserves a lot of credit for getting there 7 times.
He does deserve a lot of credit. I will say, though, I mean, his path to the finals is a lot easier, I think, with the lack of talent in the East. But still, it's a very impressive accomplishment.
Yeah.
But,
let me ask you this, though. For next year, LeBron James, the Cavaliers, we saw that they lost to the Warriors. What do they need to do to kind of make this series more competitive?
I mean, there really isn't that much they can do because of this. It's mostly due to the salary cap.
Yeah.
Because, LeBron James, wanted the organization to overpay for Tristan Thompson, even though no one was going to overpay him that much money. He wanted them to overpay J.R. Smith, even though no one was going to overpay him that much money, And that's really limited their cap space. That's why they've had to fill out their bench with all these, over-the-hill vets at a minimum salary, the last few years, or just try and, scrape by with, these little trades here and there. But they haven't been able to add anybody, significant to that roster to really make them better. And they're going to really struggle this year to do that because, the most realistic option is to get Paul George from Indiana. A lot of people have been talking about Paul George potentially going there. But the thing is, he's not a free agent. He's got 1 year left on his deal.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't mention this, but he's got the opportunity to get over $200 million in a contract if he makes it to an All-NBA team next year. So does Paul George really want to leave Indiana at this point? I think LeBron's going to try and recruit him and say, hey, you talk to your organization, just tell them basically you're going to be signing here in free agency regardless. So you're either going to trade me now or trade me or just lose me for nothing. Mm-hmm. And, LeBron's going to obviously talk to his the GM at Cleveland, basically say the same thing, where he's like, we want Paul George, make it happen. The most realistic way they can do that is give up Kevin Love.
Yeah, get a signing trade.
Or just a straight up trade, Paul George for Kevin Love and maybe a few role players here and there. Mm-hmm. But, the thing is, I don't think Indiana would make that deal because it makes no sense from a short-term position or a long-term position. Because if you're trading Paul George, you're basically saying we're going to rebuild mode. So does Kevin Love really help you get into rebuild mode?
Not necessarily.
I don't think so. And, the Cavaliers, they don't have any draft picks to send either. I think the soonest draft pick they can send is a 2021 first-round pick.
Yeah, Cavaliers in a win-now mode,
exactly.
So that doesn't help them either.
So do the Pacers want a pick that's, 5 years down the road?
Yeah. When
they're rebuilding? I don't think so. And there's no other role players that they would want. I mean, they're in a tough position right now. But, the best they can do is just try and make a few little trades here and there. Maybe get guys like J.R. Smith who's getting overpaid, or Tristan Thompson who's getting overpaid off their board and just, get a few more athletic, younger role players in there to combat the athleticism of the Warriors.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely should be their top priority is try to find some way to get rid of these big money contracts that they have for their players right now. And also, they need to find more, two-way players. You saw on the bench, they only have one-dimensional players. I think they need to get more athletic so they can guard the Golden State Warriors better. I think they need to have more guys that could create their own shot more off the bench. You saw a lot of guys on the bench. All they really do is stand around, wait for the ball, You need to get a guy who can be your sixth man, who can go and get you 15 to 20 points a game off the bench, who can defend. I think they kind of need to find a guy who, when LeBron needs a rest, he can come in, work with Kyrie, or maybe even by himself on the bench, when it's just two benches going at it, who can, dominate, when the stars are resting.
Yeah, and that goes back to LeBron, too. They're going to have to talk to LeBron, Ty Lue, and everyone in the organization there will have to talk to LeBron and basically say, you're going to have to change up your style of play a little bit because LeBron likes to have that style of basketball where it's him controlling the ball, maybe as one of the guys like a Kyrie that can create when he needs a little bit of rest. but he likes having all these shooters surrounding him, so it creates a lot of driving lanes for him. Makes it a lot easier on him. But I think the organization is basically going to have to go to him and say, look. I mean, if we're going to win a championship against these guys,
we need to change something.
We need to change some stuff up.
Yeah.
We need to get more athletic. We need to play more of a, not necessarily an up-tempo game, but like more of a spread out, passing the ball, a lot more ball movement.
Yeah.
When they were in Game 3 and Game 4, when they were doing that, when they were moving the ball around a lot more, we saw how much success they had. Game 4 they had that offensive explosion. Game 3 they were in it till the very end. They're going to need to change it up. It can't just be LeBron goes ISO or pick and roll, and then Kyrie the next possession goes pick and roll and ISO.
Yeah.
They're going to need to get more athletic, get more guys that can, move the ball around, get more guys that can shoot and play defense. Defense is the key for them, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, guys, that was our NBA Finals recap for 2017, and
unfortunately, the NBA season is officially
over. You know what? But free agency and the draft is coming up soon, so there's a lot more to talk about. We'll definitely have a lot more stuff coming up soon for the NBA draft and NBA free agency, as well as an off-season lookout for each and every team out there.
Yep.
But thanks for tuning in for all of our recaps of this series. It was a fun series to watch to a point. It was fun to see the greatness of the Warriors, but at the end of the day, we talked about it. The Cavaliers have a lot of work to do in order to make this competitive series next year, assuming these two teams meet again next year.
Yeah.
So again, thanks guys.
Thank you for watching. It was so much fun.
A lot of fun.
Recording these videos.
This gives us a chance now the NBA Finals done to get to a lot of stuff. So, again, thanks guys.
We got a lot more videos coming. Thank you.